Simple question. One you've probably asked yourself every day for the past 4 to 6 years. What happens when you take the fluid 3D platforming of Super Mario and combine it with all the nostalgia you could find from the PlayStation IP? That's right, we're talking about the Game Awards Game of the Year and possibly the greatest playable Sony ad ever made, Astrobot. The basics. Astrobot was developed by Team Asobi, released September 6, 2024. It's a 3D platformer, more of a collectathon akin to the 3D Marios or the Donkey Kong 64's Banjo-Kazooie style. Go out to the world, collect as much as you can. Essentially, Sony's 3D Mario mascot they've always been looking for. The key mechanics of the game, most of your basic movement tech, plus 16 different transformations or power-ups that change gameplay based off of each transformation's unique ability. A couple examples of this would be the chicken rocket backpack. That is exactly what it sounds like. It's a chicken rocket backpack, sends you flying in the air. And then a dog rocket backpack, which sends you forward on a horizontal thrust motion. And those are just some of them. You have the time jetpack that slows down time, makes everything all matrixy. That's a very fun mechanic. All right, next up, let's cover some things I liked. Visually, this game looks beautiful and takes full advantage of modern hardware. The gameplay mechanics, I wouldn't say the game mechanics are innovative. There wasn't really a moment where I felt the game really did something I had never seen before, but instead, I would say Astrobot is well polished in almost every way except one, but I'll cover that one issue later. Team Asobi did an amazing job at taking gameplay ideas that have been used in the past and truly mastering their application within Astrobot. To me, this is how it should be. This is a game and an IP whose foundational concept is about appreciation of the games and the IPs that came before it and have built the PlayStation brand to what it is. In that sense, if the game was truly innovative, it would almost feel wrong and serve as a distraction from the game's focus of shining light on the PlayStation IPs. Or, as the base of any human pyramid would tell you, born to shine, forced to support. Skarkles 2025. Another thing I loved in Astrobot was the music. The music is unbelievably good, and the whole original soundtrack is readily available on Spotify. In some states, you gotta pay a lot of dollars to have something that good for your eardrums. I mean, just listen to some of these songs and tell me you aren't immediately in a better mood. You like Naruto? Cool. Ninja Bots. Maybe something a little more funky. Cool. 12 Bar Bot. Funfair Remix. As a whole, Astrobot's soundtrack is a banger. Pretty early on, you realize every level's song is a vibe, but then when you think, they can't cook anymore, how could they? They come out of nowhere with this chef's kiss of a song. Boy. Saying, tell me you're not in a better mood. These songs slap. Unfortunately, such is life, that every pro comes with its cons. For every mountain climbed, there is a man stuck in a cauldron with a hammer that must fall down it. Skarkles 2025. There are 2 negatives for me, 1 minor and 1 major. First, the lesser of the 2 is what I would say is the only department that was a little weak when looking at the entire package of Astrobot, and that is the story. It's not bad by any means. It's just no Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, or Mario Sunshine. It's aight, for lack of a better word. I think it's a mix of the silent protagonist and goofy alien as a big bad, which leaves the plot feeling lackluster. This being said, I also don't think the story was by any means the real focus of the game, and more just a device to give you a reason to go and explore. I think if we ever get an Astrobot 2, this is an area that will get a lot more love and focus from Team Asobi from the jump. Now, my other complaint I'm not as forgiving on, this should be considered a sin when creating a 3D platformer. This has to do with the fundamental movement set you have as Astro and the lack of a dive forward movement button. It's a shame because having a button to create forward momentum, A, isn't a new or groundbreaking concept. B, realistically only enhances the gameplay experience by not only allowing the user to reposition quickly, but also opens up the skill ceiling by being a tool that the player has at their disposal to not only use, but to master. Creating different movement combos, making clutch jumps. 3D platformers fundamentally work because of the user's ability to move through 3D space. To limit this is to limit the game. Nothing stopped me from finding a good flow state in this game more than the lack of the ability to accelerate my movement. Or, as the late and great Sonic the Hedgehog said, gotta go fast. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 review coming soon. It's a real shame considering there are plenty of unused buttons on the PS5 controller that could easily accommodate this. I do think it's important to always list pros and cons. I know I try to make a big deal about the forward momentum thing, but I can't emphasize how negligible I actually think these 2 cons are when looking at Astrobot as a whole. The story was exactly what I expected it to be from the start, and the lack of of a forward mobility button, though I find it an insane design choice, it's something I can deal with. It's something that I don't think is going to bother anyone realistically, just something I can more question than anything else. Next up is a quick plot recap and review. Skip to this timestamp if you really want to be completely spoiler free. All right, you got 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. I have to clear my throat for this part. Picking up where Astro's playroom left off, Astro and friends are flying in the PS5. While the bots are bumping along, Phil Spencer appears out of nowhere asking if he can party. He lunges for the PS5, claiming this is an Xbox. With the power of Game Pass Ultimate, Phil Spencer grabs the PS5 and removes its custom 8-core Zen 2 AMD processor, damaging the PS5's ship in the process, causing all the bots to be lost, scattered in space, while the damaged ship falls to the nearby planet and crashes. From here, Astro is tasked with searching for the first available constellation for the lost bots, puzzle pieces, and warp portals. Upon completing a constellation and defeating its final boss, Astro will be rewarded with a final world that is themed after an iconic PlayStation IP. The first one of these worlds to visit is themed after the 1999 cult classic Ape Escape. The reward for beating this bonus world is a PS5 heart that will need to be repaired and placed back in the PS5 at the crash site. The more bots collected provide Astro with the ability to reach new locations at the crash site. By doing such, Astro is able to locate fallen satellites that reveal new constellations for Astro to explore. And so it is that the cycle repeats itself 3 more times to unlock all the constellations. The puzzle pieces found throughout each constellation are used to create new buildings at the crash site. One of the buildings is a gacha machine that is used to unlock unique cosmetics and to get young children hooked on gambling mechanics at a young age. The warp portals will take Astro directly to the Lost Galaxy and unlock a bonus world with additional bots to rescue. Within each constellation, there are also hidden bonus missions that present Astro with additional challenges and bots to rescue. Upon rescuing all the bots, Astro can access the final mastery level, which will put all of his skills learned thus far to the test. Once the PS5 has been completely repaired, Astro and friends will embark on a final battle with Phil Spencer. For my overall impression of the story, like I said earlier, the story was fine. Nothing groundbreaking, just a tool to progress the plot. It's exactly what I thought it would be, and is one area I would imagine gets more love and attention in Astro Bot 2. There's 2 major things that stood out to me. From start to finish, this game can easily be described as good, clean fun. I had a smile on my face the entire time and never felt the game overstayed its welcome. Second thing is just how much love and pride Team Asobi put into this game. You can tell there is a great love for the PlayStation IPs and just video games as a whole. It's playable PlayStation history and probably the most lighthearted, happy, and fun packaging possible. While I don't have any kids yet, if I ever do, this is a game that I would be very excited to sit down and play through with them. Probably sits at the top of that list. Astro Bot is hands down the greatest playable ad to date. While the lack of basic movement tech handicaps the potential for this game, I can't say enough good things about it. I find a very important question to ask myself when reflecting on any game is, was it worth my time? And Astro's is an easy yes. I have no regrets from the time I spent playing Astro's, and I look forward to a future replay at some point. I'd recommend this to anyone who enjoys 3D platformers, anyone that grew up on the PlayStation IPs, and any parent looking for something fun to play with their kids. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. If you're at all curious after this video about Astro's, I hope I helped guide you in the direction of considering picking it up. It's definitely worth playing. If you find it on sale and it's within your budget, I would definitely scoop it. If you've played Astro Bot, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this and wanted to support the channel, a like and sub are greatly appreciated. The next review is Sonic 2, The Wheel is Spoken, and the next game I'm checking out is Hi-Fi Rush. Thank you for your time. On screen should be a video YouTube thinks you'll like. Catch you in the next one. Peace.